Okay, this is your second example from the lesson today. So this is about thinking about not just your roots, but this is thinking about your turning point. So this is why I asked you to do and revise completing the square last week. So if we look at the first question, again, I would pause the video, give yourself time to write down the questions before I go over them. If we look at part A, write the function y equals 8x squared plus 8x plus 18 in the form y equals x plus a all squared plus b. Now you should recognise this as being completing the square. It's a completing the square question when it asks you to write it like that. So what we would have to do is complete the square of this quadratic function here. You all should remember how to do this now. So what we would do is we would have y equals x plus 4 all squared minus 16 and then plus 18. Once we do that, we can sort that out and we get x plus 4 all squared minus 16 add 18 is plus 2. Part A complete. Next one, so we look at part B, find the coordinates of the turning point of the function y equals x squared plus 8x plus 18. Well, the whole point of completing the square is actually so that you can find the coordinates of the turning point. You can actually just use this form here to find your turning point. So the value of a turning point for this value here, x would have to be minus 4 from this point here, and y would have to be 2 from this point here. That would give you a minimum value. And your coordinate would be minus 4, 2. And that is just using this completed the square form. So we've got our turning point here, minus 4, 2. Then it says explain why, for part C, there are no roots of the function y equals x squared plus 8x plus 18. Now, if we know that our minimum value is minus 4, 2, that means we know, if we did a little quick sketch, our minimum point would be somewhere here, I think. Thinking about where it crosses the y-axis, well, if we go back to our function up here, we know that if x is 0, that will give us our value of our y-coordinate or our y-intercept. When x is 0, our y-intercept is 18. So our y-intercept for our quadratic function is going to be somewhere up here. So it will look like that. I should have really crossed it. There we go. It will look like that. Therefore, it doesn't cross the x-axis, doesn't cross it at all. Therefore, there are no roots, because if this is a minimum point there, it won't cross the x-axis at all. Therefore, there will be no roots. So that is here what you would write here. It does not cross the x-axis, as the minimum point is at minus 4, 2, and therefore there are no roots. Okay, so that's the second example done.